Teslas are well known for having less than resilient paint finishes, which makes cleaning them more of a task than your average car. You definitely do not want to take your Tesla to any car wash that does anything but hand wash the exterior. And with the lack of grille on the front design, your car ends up picking up a ton of dirt and debris that you're likely going to want to clean on a regular basis to keep your car looking as fresh as possible. Keep in mind that I have a regular 9-to-5 job and 2 young kids to contend with, so what I've adapted is meant to be the easiest and best method for someone on a busy schedule. Hi everyone, it's Max, and this is my video on the easiest and most time-effective way to keep your Tesla looking clean and new. I've developed this method by consuming a bunch of different content on the internet, so if you watch similar videos to this, you're likely to see overlap in methodology and in product use. This just happens to be what I've taken on and what I think works best for someone in a similar situation to me who wants to keep their car clean, but also does not have a lot of time to do so. I was also fortunate enough that my car required cleaning at the same time that we happened to have a random 80-degree weekend in October, so it worked out for the making of this video. So with all that being said, let's go over what I use and what you'll need to perform the same method that I do to keep my car clean. First, you'll need a 5-gallon bucket for your water and ONR mixture. Mine actually came with a lid. It was only $4 difference than just getting the bucket, so I recommend going with that combo so you can actually use the bucket as a seat if you get fatigued while you're doing your wash. The next thing I got was a grit guard. This goes at the bottom of your bucket and helps separate the dirt and the dirty water from the rest of the cleaner water near the top. The next thing I got was Optimum No Rinse Cleaner, or as commonly referred to as ONR. This is an absolute must for someone who's trying to wash their car at home. A sponge, specially designed to wash the surface of your car, is also required. My ONR actually came with this sponge, so definitely go for that bundle if you need to buy both. You'll need an empty spray bottle for your chemicals. You'll need Optimum Power Clean Spray. You'll need a heavy-duty tire brush. You'll need invisible glass cleaner. I also had miscellaneous microfiber cloths, some throwaway washcloths, and last but not least, fragrance-free baby wipes. For all of these, I'll include a link in the description below to the actual product I purchased, with the exception of the microfiber cloths, the baby wipes, and the throwaway rags, because I already had those on hand. There are also other products that you can get to coat the interior and exterior of your car to preserve and protect the clean for a longer period of time, but I've yet to try those out. Already, this was a decent initial investment just to get these starter products, so I wasn't ready to drop another $100 right away. Maybe in spring, once they stop salting the roads out here post-winter, I'll do a deep clean and try these products out and post that on my channel if I do, but for now, I just got the initial products that I needed to keep my car clean on a regular basis. So without further ado, let's get into the actual cleaning. The first thing you'll need to do is fill your bucket about halfway with 2 to 2.5 gallons of water. Once filled, you can place in your grit guard in the bottom of the bucket, and then you mix in your no rinse cleaner. The bottle says to add 1 ounce per 2 gallons, but since I filled this bucket up about halfway, I ended up adding 2 ounces to this mixture, which has been most effective in past cleanings. 1 ounce is about a cat fill, so just dump 2 of those into the water if you want to do a similar mix. You can use the sponge that you have on hand to mix all this together, and then leave that sponge in the mixture to soak. You'll want to soak your sponge for a chunk of time if it's your first time use as well, just to soften it up so it's not abrasive when hitting the coating of your car for the first time. You'll also want to take your empty squirt bottle and fill it up about halfway with this ONR and water mixture so that you can use it as you go. So now while your sponge soaks, go ahead and go around the car and hose off the exterior. This will remove any heavy debris. Now I use my home hose with a simple jet adapter to do this process. You could also definitely pressure wash this at home or at a professional car wash to get debris off. It really just depends on how dirty your car is when you start this process. Something I do want to note is that when I filmed this video, I had limited time to do this wash, so I didn't actually wait for the car to dry after hosing it off before proceeding to clean it. I would definitely recommend that you do that though if you have the time to do so it's not soaking wet when you apply the cleaning solution. And we'll get to why that's important later on in this video. Once you're done with your initial rinse, you'll follow the same steps for the entire exterior of the car. You'll use your spray bottle to spray a layer of ONR mixture on whatever surface you're working on. You'll wring out your soaking sponge and using one side, slowly and lightly wipe back and forth from top to bottom. This should remove the first layer of dirt that the ONR itself lifted up from the car. Next, repeat the exact same motion, but this time using the opposite side of the sponge and applying a decent amount of pressure to the surface. From here, you're just rinsing and repeating until you're satisfied with the clean. The way that I always tackle the exterior is to go from panel to panel from top down. This is because the lower you go, the more dirty it becomes, and you really want to avoid spreading those dirtier sections onto cleaner ones. For that reason, I also always save the bottom guards for the absolute last thing that I clean on the vehicle, since they will by far be the dirtiest section. It's also important to tackle panels one at a time, so you're giving each individual treatment based on the way it's collecting dirt, and you're not just spreading dirty water around as you move from top to bottom. But it really is just that simple, just rinse and repeat. Once I've hit the whole car, I let it air dry and I move on to the tires and the glass sections of the vehicle. As you can see, over time, the tires start to get this brown discolored fade to them. This is actually normal for these type of tires and apparently means that they're doing what they're supposed to do in terms of aging. You can clean this brown off though using the Optimum Power Clean Spray, which should not damage the tires or impede with their functionality. Simply spray this onto the tires and use that heavy duty tire brush to rub it in until the coating starts foaming. You should actually see the white foam start to turn brown as it lifts off the discoloring. Repeat this as many times as necessary depending on how dirty your tires are, and once satisfied, give the tires a rinse from your hose to remove all the chemicals and the dirt. As for the rims themselves, go back to the spray bottle of ONR and water and simply spray those with that mixture. I personally like to use an old washcloth here since it can be pretty grimy and I don't want to permanently mess up any of my microfibers. This process is simply repeated for all 4 tires. The last part of the exterior is the windshields and glass, and this is by far the easiest part. You just have to spray the invisible glass cleaner on whatever section you're cleaning and wipe down the surface with a microfiber. Repeat as necessary depending on how dirty those windows are. This can be used for both the inside and outside of the car, and my only word of caution with this step is to pay attention to how dirty your microfiber is getting. If it starts looking pretty bad, get a fresh one, otherwise you're just going to be smearing dirt around on all the windows and glass. Now my final step with the exterior when all of this is done is I do a walk around of the vehicle with the ONR mix spray and a microfiber to spot clean any areas that I've missed or that have any kind of stain on them. This is as simple as lightly spraying those sections that I notice and doing a quick wipe down and dry with the microfiber in hand. This is also where I want to circle back to my initial comment about allowing your car to dry after spraying it down before washing. Because the car was so wet with large droplets of water collecting on the surface, when I went to start cleaning it, I actually had a decent amount of water stains left when it dried. These droplets basically just collected chunks of dirty water from my cleaning and dried up on the car, which is why it left those water stains. This meant that my spot cleaning was much more involved than it typically is in the past because I had to go over a lot more of these stains than if I had waited for the car to fully dry out before I started the cleaning process. That all could have been avoided, which is why I recommend if you do hose down your car before cleaning the exterior, wait for it to dry out before you actually do your chemical clean. And that's all there really is to the exterior clean. As for the inside, for anything that's non-leather or glass, you can continue using that ONR mixture. Simply spray any dirty areas down with that mixture and wipe with a microfiber cloth. For the leather, and yes, I know it's not actual leather, but it's just easier to say leather, well, that already has a protective coating on it that keeps from staining. Tesla recommends that you use a mild soap mixed with water to clean, so that's all you really need to do. And honestly, for most light dirt stains, I just use a bit of water on a microfiber cloth and wipe it down using that. You can also use fragrance-free baby wipes for quick on-the-go cleans. With 2 toddlers, we have these within reach no matter where we are or what we're doing, and they work as a pre-mixed water and mild soap solution. My only gripe with these is even though they're considered fragrance-free, they do have a distinct baby wipe smell that you become all too familiar with if you're a parent. And I personally would prefer my car not to have a smell to it that also reminds me of changing diapers. The smell doesn't last long and isn't bad, it's just something that I am all too familiar with having 2 toddlers. And honestly, that's really all there is to it. All in all, this whole process took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I try to do this about once a month, which keeps the car in good shape for my personal needs and expectations for how the vehicle should look. But yeah, that's all I had to talk about today. If you have any comments or suggestions for how you clean your Tesla or keep the car clean or disagree with anything I said, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always, if you like this content and you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe to see more. Thank you for watching. Until next time.